Mick, Daphne here. Good to hear from you again. How are you? I don't know anything about your IELTS journey. Do let us know if you're about to do your exam, if you've done it lots of times before, or yeah, tell us more. This is looking good. Okay, so you've got a bar chart here. The bar chart depicts, you could say the horizontal bar chart if you want, depicts the average cost of daily hotel stays in six. Now I put in here affluent cities instead of expensive in 2013. I'll tell you why. If you repeat the words in the question, so like you put hotel stay, which is in the question here, okay, you've also used average, which is in the question, okay. If you use the words that they use, you will not get any marks at all. So you have to find a way of paraphrasing those. So you could say the normal or the usual cost of hotel visits or of luxury hotel. You have to use the word hotel, I think. Luxury hotel accommodation in 6 affluent cities in 2013. So you absolutely must paraphrase or you will not get marks because you're using their vocab, not your vocab. That's the thinking. Overall, it can be seen that Monte Carlo and Muscat were the most expensive compared to the others, so were the highest priced. So again, we're not going to use expensive. I'm going to say highest priced, or the most highly priced compared to the others, while Moscow, expressed, maybe not expressed. Moscow was noted or was registered as maybe noted as the least expensive in regards to yeah. Yeah, okay. I mean, again, I'm very cautious about that daily cost thing. You just have the least expensive you could find there. But again, maybe you can find another way for expensive. Do you see what I mean here? To begin. Now, you don't need to have to begin and you don't need to have moving on. I mean, you can, but I prefer you didn't. Well, this is going facts. Okay, so go bang with the facts. Monte Carlo and Muscat were. Now, watch out for your tense. Always look at the date, the year here. Okay, it's 2013, so past tense. Were nearly parallel in terms of booking prices. With instead of because, don't tell me why, just put with. Both accounting for now you can have ing accounting for over 320. There was no significant difference between them at respectively. Okay, as for New York, which came in 3rd rank, good. It stood at 308, followed by Key West. That followed by Key West at. I think you don't need that. Just put Key West at 286. Okay. So, and there were, then put and. There were there was an insignificant then. Insignificant variance between the first figures. I mean, 20 is insignificant, yeah? Insignificant variance of $20. Oh, sorry, I'll put 20 there, between the figures. Okay? Yep, so I think that is a bit neater. Insignificant variance of 20 between both figures. Okay? The least, so just start here, capital letter here, the least expensive cities in 2013 were, so you don't need which, well, Rio and Moscow. Rio charged, it's not really accounted for, maybe it's charged, because that was what it cost, charged. So Moscow was the least, least, maybe go lowest. priced capital at, so you wouldn't need that, at 257. Okay. Then you need to make a comparison between them. The room rate in Moscow was, now you're going to be good at maths and I cannot do this in my head, but was, and it's not even very big either. Okay, I mean what, $80 less than, was almost $80 less than the highest. Price room in wherever it is. Yeah. Okay, so what you need to be doing, this is fine, but, and then I don't think you need that, that's not important. What you need to be doing is not just listing, but connecting the data. So there's two things I'm picking out from this. One is language. Don't repeat the language, more variety in the language. The next thing is go in with the facts. You don't need the connecting words. Don't use many connecting words here. I'd like more contrasting words, whereas, while, the contrasting words. I'd like more comparatives, as expensive as cheap as, those ones. And that's why I put in this, was almost $80 less than the highest. So I've got a comparative and a superlative in the same sentence. That is what is going to get you marks in the task 1. I'm going to put in a link for you to have a look at a tutorial on that, which might help you. Okay, but otherwise, okay, well done. International marketing. It is argued that some countries are invaded by international marketing. Okay. However, others believe it's very useful economically and to publish foreign cultures as well. Okay. Now, you cannot have invaded, same problem. You've got that in the question. International marketing, you need to say to me exactly what you mean. So this is not about trade, okay? I know a lot of people feel this is about trade, and you have, written quite a lot about trade. This is about advertising. So don't worry, a lot of people make this mistake. Depending on when your exam is, I would encourage you to get involved on the course. The course is brilliant, really helps you. Lots of practice of writing these task 1, task 2 essays, tutorials, videos, corrections like this, really good feedback, really helps you improve. There is a discount I can offer you at the moment, as well as 2 free essay corrections. So if you think that would help you, please have a look. So there is a module on answering the question. So we need to put in here, and advertising. Others believe it's useful economically and for publishing. Now, it's not publishing, it's for introducing foreign cultures and ideas as well. Okay, so I would use the word introducing. Publishing is for books. Have been overcome by, something like that. You could have, or have been go with that for the moment. We'll see how we go. In my opinion, I agree that international marketing is paramount in strengthening the economy. Okay, so I'm a little bit nervous here because you're mentioning economy, so I know you're going to talk about trade. So I want you to be talking about marketing. Right, let's go. At the outset, people think that universal selling is a kind of encroachment to people's country's economy, especially developing ones. Okay, so many professionals, so try not to use the word people all the time because it's very general. Many professionals believe or think that universal selling is a kind of encroachment. We don't use kind of, too informal, of a country's economy, especially developing ones. Okay, so just ones, no apostrophe. All right. Although this kind of marketing is claimed to have negative impacts, it is achieved. So I wouldn't put that. I would put it can be beneficial. But what I would do is I'd argue one side first. Well, so you could say here, this kind of marketing is often claimed to have negative impacts on the local economy. For example, okay, so for example, and you want to mention here, I'm going to put in Starbucks, exclamation mark. Okay. For example, if countries have, so most countries around the world have a Starbucks coffee shop, this could negatively influence people towards the American culture and American style of drinking coffee with cakes compared to local traditional coffee shops who might suffer financially because of this new American culture. Something like that. That's the idea. They're selling an American way of life and the local shops are going to suffer. Okay, that's what I want you to put in there. So you could do a correction and you could put all that in there. Trade contracts established after they've been studied well. Yes. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not relevant. Okay? It's not relevant to the topic. In sharp contrast, global marketing is adventurous, ambitious, compared to its amount of job. Maybe adventurous? I'm not sure what you mean there. As it contains a plethora of, don't repeat the words in the question. A plethora of alternative, innovative beliefs. Maybe you could have lifestyle ideas, something like that. This marketing and advertising, or this advertising and selling of ideas can bond the relationship. Can bond the relationship between nations. Don't use that, and consequently could give the opportunity to learn more about other countries in terms of again you can't repeat that. You can have some of it, but not all of it, which reflects on other sectors such as tourism. Good. So tourism is fine to talk about that. There was a large increase in the number of, you can't jump, not too informal, large increase in the number of Chinese tourists. Okay. Chinese tourists to where? Do you mean people to tourists or Chinese tourists to Italy? Let's go. After a successful campaign promoting visits, promoting the monuments of Rome. Yeah? Showed monuments of Rome. Okay? Successful campaign in China. Okay, so the Chinese tourists saw the advertisement of Rome and then they all went to visit Italy. Yeah? So that was not relevant. Then you could adapt that a little bit. To conclude, okay. So, do you see the problem? Don't worry about this. Okay, the problem is basically having not quite getting the question has taken you off on the wrong track. So you've written a nice essay but about trade. So a few things to note. The language, always keep the language academic. Do not use the words in the questions. I think you need a little bit of work on vocabulary here. Have a look at the course, Mick. I think that could be great for you. Well done.